everybody, welcome back to my channel. I do sincerely apologize because I have not uploaded anything over here on my Julia Jean channel in a while. Life has just been really busy. I've been flying a lot for work and whatnot, but I wanted to do something really fun today, and I found a bunch of questions online that are just random, and by me answering them, it's a really good way for you all to get to know me better. I don't know how much Luna will be participating in today's vlog because she is just taking a little snooze on the bed. Hi, cutie. Okay, first question is, if you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with the extra time? My first thought was read. I would definitely read if I didn't have to sleep, or probably watch movies, as long as I'm with Luna and Eric. I would want to spend as much time as possible with them. All right, next one. What is your favorite piece of clothing you have ever owned? My favorite piece of clothing that I have actually only ever worn one time is this beautiful green dress that I wore to Eric's cousin's wedding. I still have it, but I just haven't ever worn it since. How often do you play sports? So I don't play sports ever. I was a gymnast for 17 years, so that was my sport. I did that from the time that I was 4 years old, I think until I was 21 or 22. And then I would say that I just work out now. I lift, I do cardio, and I stretch, but I do not do sports, if that makes sense. So I'm still very active, but I'm not active in like a sports way. What fictional place would you most like to go? Okay, I have two. My first thought was Hogwarts, because who doesn't want to go to Hogwarts? I mean, Harry Potter, those books are really what got me into a love for reading. And so I feel like I just owe my heart and soul to Harry Potter, and I would love to see Hogwarts. Like, if I could live in Hogwarts, that would be so cool. But then my second thought was the Night Court from A Court of Thorns and Roses, that series. You really get to start seeing the Night Court in A Court of Mist and Fury, which was the second book. Wait, not even the Night Court, Valeris. I think I would want to go to Valeris, which is also in A Court of Mist and Fury. That city was based off of Switzerland, I'm pretty sure, in her mind, and the way that it's described in the book is just absolutely stunning. What job would you be terrible at? Anything that would involve me having to sit at a desk all day and answer phone calls. I hate talking on the phone. What is the most annoying habit that other people have? Okay, I have a few, but the first one that came to my mind was when people that you don't even know give you their unwanted opinion about something. Like, I don't know, if you like come up and tell me like your sweatshirt is ugly, that is your opinion. I did not want it. I did not ask for it, but I guess thank you for telling me anyway. You're just all up in my business for no reason. Another thing that I don't like that people do is when they chew really loudly with their mouths open. Ugh, I just think that's so gross. Okay, another job question. What job do you think you would be really good at? So I hope that I am really good at my two current jobs, which is a flight attendant and as a content creator. I love both, and I genuinely hope that I'm good at them. But I also think I would be really good working at Barnes & Noble or as a librarian, just because I love books. Obviously, that's why I started this whole second channel that is focused on lifestyle and book content. But oh my gosh, I think I would be great working in a bookstore, and I think that's honestly something that I will want to do one day. Not for money, not for anything like that, but just for fun, because I think that would be an amazing, like, that's an amazing day to me, to just like go work in a bookstore and get to help people find books that they will love and want to read, and just to be surrounded by all of them and that aesthetic and vibe. Yeah, I could totally do that. What would be the most amazing adventure to go on? Okay, I definitely think if we're talking like money is no limit, time is no limit, you can go on the greatest adventure, then I would say visiting all 7 continents, because that's something Eric and I have talked about. One day crossing every continent off of our bucket list, I think would be so cool. So if we could go on this big grand adventure visiting all of them, I think that would be absolutely incredible. Ooh, I like this next question. Speaking of unlimited funds, if you had unlimited funds to build your dream house that you would live in for the rest of your life, what would the finished house be like? So I had 2 visions that came up into my head. If this doesn't tell you that I am kind of bad at making decisions, because I'm like, oh, I could do either one and be like equally happy. So Okay, if I had to think about this, one in the mountains and then the other overlooking the beach. I've always been a beach girl. Absolutely, I love the beach. But lately, as I've gotten older, and when I say older, I just mean like in my late 20s, I have found a lot of peace in the mountains and with the trees and that type of scenery where I didn't really have before. But I think the beach will just always come first to me. Like the beach will always be number one. So I have to go with the beach. Okay, what game or movie universe would you most like to live in? Harry Potter. I mean, 100% Harry Potter. And I'm doing this based off of like my favorite fantasy books. So like earlier how I was talking about A Court of Thorns and Roses, that series, and Harry Potter. So those are like by far my two favorite series. But I'm also reading the From Blood and Ash series right now, and I absolutely love those books. Like they're pretty neck and neck with A Court of Thorns and Roses for me now, but I wouldn't want to live in those fantasy worlds. And I wouldn't want to live in them because with most fantasy books, there's always like evil creatures. And I'm glad I don't live in a world where, you know, there's not this huge giant creature that could eat me just roaming around outside. So I wouldn't really want to deal with that. But if I could live in just like the magical fantasy, beautiful side of the fantasy worlds, then absolutely. Are you usually early or late? Both. I don't know how to say this. So I feel like I am always running late, but I typically am never late for anything, but I always feel like I'm running late. What are some small things to make your day better? Oh, I like this one. So I guess I'll just kind of go throughout my day with you guys and talk about the different things that like make me smile. So every morning, Luna typically jumps up on the bed and snuggles with me for a few minutes before my alarm goes off. So that always makes me just feel all warm and cozy inside to have, you know, that snuggle session with Miss Luna. Usually warm coffee, something small, makes me really happy. Oh, this is gonna sound so cheesy and cringe, but whatever. But like waking up next to the love of my life, like waking up next to Eric and Luna every day, like that makes me smile, and I just feel so grateful for our little family that we have. Even if I have a bad day, like I know that I get to go to sleep and wake up next to them, and like that in and of itself is a huge blessing. I think another one too is just quiet moments to myself, quiet moments to read, walking outside, and that feeling of the sunshine hitting your face, and you just like breathe in the fresh air and you can feel the sun on your skin. Like there is nothing more rejuvenating than that. That makes me smile. That's a small thing. What TV channel doesn't exist but really should? Okay, I think it would be really cool if there was a TV channel that only played book to movie or TV adaptations. So for example, like it only played Twilight, or it only played, okay, I don't know why Twilight was the first one I thought of, but like any book that has been turned into a movie or TV show. So think like, I'm thinking of like when I was a teenager and like in college, like what came out. So like Twilight, Harry Potter, 50 Shades of Grey, Normal People, which is on Hulu. I haven't watched that one yet. Oh my gosh, well, Divergent. What are some, I'm totally drawing a blank now, but I'm trying to think of like other ones. But yeah, I think a TV channel where it was only books to movies and TV shows would be so cool, because then you could watch the show and you could read the book and you could compare. And I don't know. You know what? Maybe someone will think of that and they'll be able to make that happen and they can give me credit for it. Okay, next question. What age do you wish you could permanently be? Okay, I know most people are gonna say 17 or 25 or I don't know, like they want to stay a specific age forever, but I do not. I think life is such a beautiful thing at all ages, and you learn different things at different stages of your life and at different ages, and I just feel like growing old is a blessing. Growing old and living a long, happy, healthy life is what you should aim for. Like that's the goal, right? That's the goal, is to live the longest and healthiest and happiest, most joyful and loving life possible. So why would I want to stay at one age when maybe later on in life I have another lesson to learn, or I have another opportunity that will happen to me, or I have more friends to meet and bigger and better things? Like what if I told you that I wanted to stay 17 my whole life? I never would have met Eric. I never would have had Luna. I never would have become a flight attendant. I never would have gone to college. I am sorry, my camera battery died, so I had to go get the other one. But we are back, and the next question is, what is your favorite genre of book or movie? Okay, so my first thought was fantasy, which is really interesting because I didn't really start getting into fantasy books per se until my mid-20s, but I just love them. Like A Court of Thorns and Roses, From Blood and Ash, Lightlark. Those are the biggest fantasy books that I have read yet. But also I am really into dark romance. I used to like romance novels just as they are, but they just get too boring and repetitive to me. Like it just feels way too much like a Netflix rom-com that I'm reading over and over and over again. And then I'm just like, oh my gosh, where is like the spice, the action? It's like I read books for entertainment. Like I read books because it's an escape and it's things that will never happen in my own actual life. The best dark romance duet that I have ever read, and I mean ever read, was Haunting Adeline, and then the duet book after that, which was Hunting Adeline. However, I will say, absolutely check the trigger warnings. This book was really intense. I do not recommend it for everybody. I also don't even recommend this book for anyone, honestly, under the age of like 25, maybe 21. It was a really intense book, but it was incredible. The writing, the plot, the character development, all of it, just like chef's kiss. Incredible. So yeah, dark romance and fantasy are my absolute two favorite genres to read. And I guess my favorite to watch on TV too. I also feel like that's why a lot of fantasy and dark romance type of books and movies should be reserved for adults, because as an adult, I know the difference between what is fictional and what is real. And just because I enjoy reading things that are fictional doesn't mean that I would want those things to actually happen in my own life. And I think it's really important that people make that distinction. For example, Daenerys Targaryen is like my favorite character ever. Yeah, she is just absolutely incredible. And the way that she would just like go out and slay her enemies, and she's such a badass, and like she's just awesome. But like I am not gonna go out and do that in my own life, okay? But I can applaud her for doing it. How often do you people watch? Okay, I feel like I have the ability to people watch a lot, only because of my job as a flight attendant. So I people watch a lot on the airplane and in airports and whatnot. But I do feel like if my job wasn't working as a flight attendant, then I wouldn't people watch a lot, because if I wasn't working as a flight attendant, honestly, this is what I would be doing. I would be reading and making content about that. And you don't really people watch when you do that. What is your dream car? Oh my gosh. Okay, my dream car is absolutely a white Porsche Macan. I think they are gorgeous and so cool. And who knows, maybe one day I'll be able to have one. But for right now, I love my Honda HR-V. Her name is Pearl. And yeah, I love her. I love my car. Okay, I think I'm gonna finish on this last question. What quirks do you have? I make a lot of hand gestures. I talk with my hands a lot. Okay, I don't know if this is a quirk, but okay, you know the Star Trek thing where people can like move, okay, like these two fingers stick together, but and those ones too? Okay, I can't do that. It physically pains me to try and like, look at my pinky shaking. Like it physically pains me to try to do that with my hands. I know it's not a quirk, but like, oh my gosh, it's just something really weird about me. Yeah, like even on this hand, I can't do it. These fingers, they don't stay together. Okay, that was really fun. If you guys have any other questions, please put them in the comment section below so I can answer them probably in a future video. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you all are having a fabulous day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.